Hello, good people. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Dominica, and I'm a lover of fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. But I also have a series called the Yap Session, where we literally talk everything and anything unfiltered about life as an adult, as a parent, as whoever you are in this season of your life. Today, we're going to be yapping, but I'm also going to be doing some cleaning. So let's clean while we chat.
Today's Wednesday episode, Yap Session, it's a little different. And also, it's my first time doing a voiceover because I just had so many things I wanted to talk about. But actually, you know what? We are going to talk about burnout. Like, for real. I never experienced this before. I mean, when it comes to jobs and all of that, yeah. But this one was on a different level. First, let's define what burnout is. Burnout is a state of deep emotional, mental, and physical exhaustion. And this can be caused by like prolonged stress, especially when you feel overwhelmed, overworked, drained, and it always happens over a long period of time. And it's more than just being tired, I'm tired. No, it's more than that. It's when your body and your mind basically says, I can't keep doing this anymore. Now I'm laughing, but best believe me, I wasn't laughing last week. Now, let us actually define what parenthood, motherhood burnout is because, as I said earlier, I've never really experienced something like this. This was totally new to me. When I had my first son, I never experienced that. It was smooth and sailing, and it's not like this boat is not smooth and sailing, but the boat is on a different direction now. There's an extra, there's an extra weight on it, and that is baby number two. So, parent burnout is also called parental burnout, and this kind of burnout always happens apparently when you're stressed of parenting and it becomes overwhelming over a constant period of time. And rest, support, and recharge is actually what you need. But rest, sleep did not really do it for me like I thought it would. So let's keep talking. Anyways, now let me tell you how I felt last week. Last week, the exhaustion was on a different level. I was so exhausted that I could not even think for myself. I literally had to write things down to get done. I literally had to, put alarms for stuff, literally everything for things to be done because that's how exhausted I was mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. And also, when you're burned out, you easily get irritated. Like I don't need to you don't need to say anything. I just need to look at you and best believe I get angry. I snapped easily. Um and it's not like I will not say I lost the joy of parenting at that moment. I was just very exhausted of parenting. I'm not even going to lie. I wanted a break, but did I really get a break? Honestly, I didn't. I had to find my own way of getting a break. I literally spent 3 days straight doing nothing other than sleep, wake up, do the basic of what parenting is, making sure they ate, making sure they had a shower for that day, and that's it. Like I didn't do anything. And baby, some people might feel guilty or some people will feel like you're not doing enough or whatever. Baby, do you want me alive or do you want me 6 feet down? Which one? I had to choose leaving, so I had to do what I had to do to get the rest I need. And oftentimes, the funniest thing, I never really ever thought of burnout, like being burnt out parenting, like being burnt out as a mother. I never thought that. Like being a nurse, of course, we do experience burnout here and there. But even as a nurse, I hardly did experience burnout unless I think I did when I was doing case management. When I was doing like the 312s, like the 312s you do. No, I never experienced burnout because I would do my 312 and I'm back home. Will I be tired? Yes. Burnout? No, because I don't pick no shift and doing nothing extra. But with the case management, on the other hand, I I did I worked 5 days a week, or at times, you have the flotating weekends. And sometimes when you go visit patients, the caseload can quite be a lot at times, especially when you guys are short staff and management and all of that stuff. So I did experience some burnout here and there, but nothing crazy. And I've not really heard, maybe, I don't know, I'm not paying attention, but being burnt out as a parent, nobody has ever told me that. And when I actually sat and I thought about it, and I was like, oh my God, this is real. This is real. Like you constantly need it, as your children constantly needing you. You're balancing multiple roles. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a student, I'm trying to do this content creation thing. I'm like having 10,000 hats going on at the same time. My brain cells are like on fire rockets, always on the move. I'm thinking of things, what to do. Like, the brain is on constant replay. I think even when I'm sleeping, I'm probably thinking of something. That's how bad it is. And at some point, I felt like I don't even have time to even sit and who's I. Like, I wake up 7 in the morning, do my tasks for the day, my routines, and then by the time I know, it's almost midnight or 1 o'clock. That's when I'm sleeping, and I do the circle all over again. So it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot, and I crashed out last week. I literally crashed out. And also that's why I missed one episode last week, Wednesday, because these Yap sessions are always every Wednesday. But since last week was the week I crashed, I couldn't do it. Like, I was just like, at this point, you need to know when to take a break, when to stop, when to rest, when to reset. And I did that. I did just that, and I felt so good by towards the weekend. I felt really good. So realistically, it's not like what I did just took everything away. Not like I felt like, whoo, I'm back to the grind. Whoo, I'm normal. Whoo, everything is gone. No, I think like taking the small, consistent breaks. Like, as I said, I spent like straight consecutively 3 days. I spent 3 days not doing anything. Like nothing, no cooking, no cleaning, no doing content, no doing extracurricular activities, nothing. I literally slept. And I told you, as I said, I wake up at 7. Oh boy, I woke up at 9 a.m. I gave myself 2 extra hours of sleep. And it's not like I was in bed tossing and turning or pressing on my phone. No, I was literally sleeping. I never knew my body was like wanting to sleep for that long. So I literally was sleeping, and when I wake up, the kids are up, then I go ahead, give them a shower, make them food or breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, and then right back to a position of rest, which is the bed. I laid there thinking about nothing. Like, when I mean nothing, I mean nothing. I just wanted to sleep. At some point, I was like, do I need to go and check myself in? Like, do I need to check my blood work? Do I need to check myself, like, physically? Like, what is this? And now that I'm reflecting, I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's crazy. And also, thank God, like, can you imagine? And the thing is, I have a husband, and I'm thinking, like, how do women without support, without a partner, and sometimes even without family, how did they do this? And you have to cater for these kids, go to work, make sure they have food on the table, they have a roof over their head. Like, how do they do it? Because I'm just sitting and thinking, like, thank God for my husband. I mean, he did the best he could, but he could just do so much. Like I was the one that had to physically take those steps to rest. Like nobody else can do it for you, you know? Nobody can rest for you. But just him being that extra help, that extra hand did go a long way. Like when I had to take my afternoon naps, which is rare, but I had to, and he'll be watching the kids while I take a nap. And it's not like a 1 hour nap, it's like a 2 hours nap. Like I'm literally sleeping. And honestly, some people don't actually get that, you know? Thinking about it, some people don't, which is crazy and sad in, like, I don't know. I don't know, I don't even want to think about it. But I really pray for grace and strength for those that really don't have the help they need. And that's how, parent, even, I'm even talking about women now, but even men, there's some men that don't have the support. There's some men that, due to circumstances, that they're actually the one taking care of the kids. And I'm sure they experience this too. I'm sure they do. And it's crazy. It can be anybody, it can be both male or female, but it's quite like it's exhausting. Like thinking about how I felt last week. Oh my blood. I don't want to feel like that in a minute because it's draining, and I can't even, the feeling, as much as I've described it, it's really, I feel like it's just a little bit of what I felt. And now I'm in a place that I can talk about it. And the funny thing is, I actually have routines. I have routines in places that I do to help me, do things in a manner that I'm not running like a chicken that her head is cut off. But despite the routines, I think it's constant. It's like over and over and over again. And yeah, it can get exhausted. It can be exhausting no matter the systems and things you put in place. It can come to that point, and I've seen that and I've experienced it, and it's not a good place to be. And I'm just here to just, encourage anyone that might is or will go through it, that it's okay. You're not alone. You're not going out of your mind. It's real. You can have both. You can enjoy being a parent and also hate it at the same time. Both of them can coexist. And I did experience that last week. And I'm just like mind blown of how resilient also we as human beings can be, because it took me a minute. Like when this started, it didn't just start in a day, it took like a couple of weeks. I started feeling slowly, slowly, slowly. And I felt like it got to a point where I was really exhausted, but I couldn't even stop because I was like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. And it got to a place where it was like my brain was firing so much task, like to do was endless. And when I got to that point where I couldn't do it anymore, my body was shaking and I just could not do it no more. I was like, okay, Dominica, this is the crossroad. You have to choose whether you want to make it out here with your with your one head, sorry, or with no head. Which one do you want? Okay. And yeah, I took a break. I literally took a break from parenting. I did the bare minimum and the basics. What do I say? The basics, bare minimum, if that's even a thing. But the kids are fine. That's all that matters, right? Yeah, that's all that matters. And I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm able to get back to my normal routine and just being the best, taking care of myself. You can only do so much. You cannot come and kill yourself. You can only do so much. And honestly, I don't even want to kill myself because this thing called motherhood and fatherhood and parentinghood, I don't want to kill myself. I'm just going to do as much as I can, and God will handle the rest. And whenever I'm tired, I will take a break. Whatever that break sounds like is what I'm going to do. Because at the end of the day, if my cup is empty, there's nothing I will pour out to these kids. There's nothing they're going to get from me. Zero. So who needs to take care of who? Me, right? Yeah, I need to take care of me, so I'll be able to take care of them. And that's what on period. Anyways, thank you. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.
And just like that, I will finally come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you learned a thing or two in today's yap session while I clean, and hopefully inspires you to clean as well. The kitchen is looking sparkling clean. Everywhere is clean. I literally just cleaned everywhere, made myself a coffee, and I got the job done. So yeah, thank you, and don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, and we actually have fun here. We learn something, we do all the things, and yeah, see you in my next video. See you next week for another Wednesday Yap session. Bye.